She's 75, but she looks 40. And no, she didn't get surgery. Her skin is smooth, her posture is upright, her eyes shine with clarity and peace. No injections, no Hollywood tricks, no secret miracle cream, just a quiet, intentional life rooted in centuries of wisdom most of the world has forgotten. I want to tell you the story of Keiko Sato, a 75-year-old woman I met in Osaka, Japan, who completely changed the way I see aging. At first, I honestly thought she was in her 40s. I even made the awkward mistake of asking if her parents were still alive. She laughed and gently said, "My parents? They passed away over 30 years ago." That's when I knew something was different about her. She isn't a celebrity. She's never had a viral moment. She doesn't even own a smartphone. But what she does have is a way of living. Simple, powerful, and timeless. This isn't just about skincare or what she eats, though that's part of it. This is about philosophy, routine, community, grace, and most importantly, it's about something you and I can do right now, at any age. If you're a woman in your 60s or beyond and you've ever felt like aging means fading into the background, I invite you to stay with me for the next few minutes, because Keiko's story might just inspire you to rewrite your own. Keiko was born in Kyoto in 1950. She grew up during Japan's rebuilding years, when life was simple but not easy. Her father worked as a calligrapher, her mother stayed home and tended to their family's small vegetable patch and tea corner. She became a school teacher, teaching literature and history. For more than 3 decades, she stood in front of classrooms, guiding teenagers with patience, discipline, and poetry. But her life wasn't just defined by her career. Keiko was married. Her husband, Hiroshi, was a civil engineer, quiet, kind, and steady. They were together for 33 years, raising 2 children in a modest home filled with books, laughter, and early morning routines. He passed away from cancer when Keiko was just 58. She doesn't speak much about her grief, but you can feel its weight in how she moves and how she honors his memory each day with ritual and grace. She raised their 2 children mostly alone after that. Her daughter now lives in Tokyo, her son in Nagano. They visit often. Today, Keiko lives alone in a traditional home on the edge of Osaka. She cooks all her own meals. She walks every morning, and she still writes letters, real letters by hand. What's striking about Keiko isn't just her physical appearance. It's her energy, her clarity, the lightness in her step, the quiet dignity in how she speaks. When I met her, I kept wondering, how can someone who's experienced so much loss, aging, the changing of the world, still radiate this kind of youth? Her answer was simple. "I take care of small things," she said. "Every day I honor life by not rushing through it." And that's where our journey begins, in the small, intentional details of her everyday life. In the West, we often view aging as a countdown, something to fight against, to cover up. But in Japan, it's different. Aging is not something to fear. It's something to honor. Keiko lives by a Japanese philosophy that has shaped her youthfulness far more than any product or routine. It's called ikigai, a word that doesn't quite translate but means something like a reason for being, a reason to wake up in the morning. Her ikigai isn't fame or luxury, it's simplicity, beauty, contribution. She paints traditional ink landscapes. She writes letters to her grandchildren. And once a week she volunteers at the local temple, sweeping the stone paths and arranging flowers. These are not chores. To her, they are sacred acts. They give her purpose. She's also part of a lifelong social circle, a moai. It's a group of close friends who commit to supporting each other emotionally and practically through life. They've been together for over 40 years. They share meals, stories, worries. They walk together. In Japan, this kind of friendship isn't a bonus. It's essential to health. Science now confirms what Japanese culture has always known. Strong social bonds reduce the risk of dementia, heart disease, and depression. Keiko's smile isn't just natural. It's nourished by relationships that have stood the test of time. Ritual is another part of her daily life. Lighting incense, cleaning mindfully, preparing tea with both hands. These acts might seem small, but they center her. They slow the pace of life down. They remind her, this moment matters. When I asked her why she never seemed in a rush, she laughed and said, "If I rush, I miss the beauty. And when you miss beauty, you grow old faster." This is the heart of the Japanese lifestyle philosophy. To live slowly, to live connected, to live with meaning in the ordinary. Keiko is proof that youth isn't a number, it's a practice. And in her next secret, you'll see how that practice continues in her food. If you want to understand why Keiko looks 40 at 75, look no further than her kitchen. For Keiko, food is medicine. It's not something to rush through or to eat in front of a screen. It's an act of nourishment, gratitude, and balance. And while her diet is traditional, it's also incredibly modern in its wisdom. The foods she eats are now studied by scientists all over the world, especially in the fields of anti-aging, gut health, and inflammation. Keiko begins each day with what she calls a grounding meal. A small bowl of steamed rice, never white, always a mix of brown, barley, and black rice. She says it keeps her digestion calm and honest. Alongside it, a light miso soup with seaweed and tofu. A piece of grilled fish, usually sardine or mackerel, both rich in omega-3s. And of course, seasonal vegetables. Lightly steamed, never overcooked, often topped with sesame or a touch of soy. You'll notice there's very little sugar, almost no dairy, and no processed snacks or heavy breads. Instead, her meals focus on 5 basic elements: freshness, seasonality, portion control, fermentation, and gratitude. Fermented foods are a cornerstone of Keiko's diet. From miso to natto to pickled vegetables, she eats something fermented with almost every meal. Why? Because they support gut health. And in Keiko's words, a calm stomach means a calm mind and a young face. Modern science backs her up. A balanced gut microbiome is linked to everything from glowing skin to mental clarity to stronger immunity. There's also something you won't see at her table: overeating. Keiko follows a cultural practice known as hara hachi bu, which means eat until you're 80% full. This habit, practiced by people in Okinawa, the region with some of the longest living people in the world, reduces calorie overload, helps with digestion, and prevents weight gain. And here's what's fascinating. Keiko never diets. She doesn't count calories. She doesn't obsess over carbs or keto or trends. She simply listens to her body and stops before she feels full. She trusts the wisdom in hunger and the wisdom in restraint. Keiko doesn't snack mindlessly, but she enjoys treats, just very differently. No candy bars or sugary drinks. Instead, she'll have a small piece of wagashi, a traditional sweet made with rice and beans, and sip matcha or sencha tea. These teas are full of antioxidants, especially EGGCG, which has been shown to fight inflammation, support brain health, and even prevent skin aging. She drinks tea slowly, intentionally, never on the go, never with her phone. Keiko eats what's grown close to home. She shops at the morning market. She chooses local. She eats seasonally. Her diet is high in fiber, high in nutrients, and low in inflammation. She avoids processed oils, packaged foods, and deep frying. But she never starves herself, never skips meals. Her body is nourished, not punished. And maybe most importantly, Keiko blesses her food. Before every meal, she pauses and says, "Itadakimasu," a phrase that means I humbly receive. It's not just polite, it's spiritual. It reminds her to eat with gratitude, not guilt, to honor the hands that grew the food, and to never take a full plate for granted. In the West, we chase after youth with expensive creams and superfood fads, but Keiko has a secret. Youth is grown in the garden, cooked on the stove, eaten at the table, in peace, and that's exactly what she does. Up next, we'll explore the next pillar of Keiko's youthfulness. Not what she puts in her body, but how she moves it. At 75, Keiko doesn't go to the gym. She doesn't run marathons. She doesn't lift weights, but her body is strong. Her spine is straight. Her movements are fluid and pain-free. And when she walks, it's with the quiet confidence of someone who feels deeply at home in her body. Keiko doesn't exercise. She moves. She lives in a body that is constantly in gentle motion. From the moment she rises to the moment she rests, she squats instead of bending. She walks instead of sitting. She stretches instead of slouching. And this, she says, is one of her greatest secrets to staying youthful. Still water becomes stagnant, she told me, so does the body. Every morning, Keiko walks for 30 to 40 minutes, not fast, not far, but fully present. She walks to clear her mind, to observe the seasons, and to feel the rhythm of her breath. And she never hunches. She walks tall, with her shoulders relaxed, eyes forward, arms swinging naturally. This isn't just tradition, it's science. Studies show that regular walking can reduce the risk of dementia, heart disease, depression, and osteoporosis. Twice a day, Keiko stretches for about 10 minutes. Nothing extreme, nothing showy, just enough to wake up her muscles, tend to her joints, and connect with her breath. These are movements passed down from her own mother. Movements that mirror traditional Japanese warm-ups and basic forms of do-in, an ancient self-healing practice. They help her maintain flexibility, mobility, and balance, so she never fears falling. She still climbs stairs with ease, still lifts bags of vegetables from the market, still kneels in her garden. But here's what's truly striking about Keiko. It's her posture. She sits like a dancer, shoulders gently back, chin lifted, spine long. She moves with grace, even when doing the simplest tasks. And this, she says, is one of the most important lessons her grandmother taught her. How you carry yourself is how you carry your life. Good posture doesn't just protect your joints, it enhances breathing, digestion, confidence, and even mood. In many parts of the world, these movements are considered chores. But for Keiko, they are daily opportunities to move with mindfulness. She cleans barefoot to keep her feet strong. She squats to retrieve things instead of using tools. She keeps her home tidy, not just for order, but for agility. Your home should be like your body, she says, clear, light, and easy to move through. Even in stillness, Keiko moves with intention. She ends her day seated in silence, not slouched on a couch. This gentle discipline, rooted in presence, alignment, and balance, has protected her from many of the physical ailments associated with aging. No back pain, no joint replacements, no painkillers. Just a body that's been respected, not neglected. In a world obsessed with fitness apps and body transformation challenges, Keiko reminds us that the most powerful physical practice is one that supports life, not performance. She says the way you move becomes the way you feel, so move like someone who is alive and glad to be. If you ask Keiko about her skin, she'll smile and say, "It is not my skin. It is my life that makes me look young." But behind that modest answer is something powerful. A lifetime of simple, daily care. Not luxury brands, not expensive treatments, just quiet consistency and wisdom passed down through generations. For Keiko, skincare is never about hiding flaws. It's about honoring the face you've been given. She treats her skin the way she treats her garden, with patience, presence, and gentle hands. Every morning and every evening, she follows the same steps: cleanse, tone, moisturize, and protect. Nothing trendy. Nothing harsh, just time-tested Japanese methods rooted in balance. Step 1. Gentle cleansing. Keiko begins with a mild, low-pH cleanser, often made with rice bran or green tea extract. She never uses hot water, only lukewarm, because, in her words, hot water may feel nice, but it steals the skin's softness. This step is about removing impurities, not stripping the skin, and she never ever scrubs. She says, "My skin is not the floor, it is silk." Step 2. Traditional Japanese toning. Next comes her homemade toner. Just a few drops of rice water or green tea, patted in with her hands. No cotton pads, no waste, just fingertips and breath. This age-old practice, passed down from her mother, helps hydrate the skin and restore pH while bringing a moment of calm. Step 3. Moisturizing, inside and out. Keiko's moisturizer is light, usually a blend of camellia oil and squalane, both plant-based and non-comedogenic. She warms it in her palms before pressing it into her face. Not rubbing, pressing. She does this while breathing deeply. Because to Keiko, skincare is also about nervous system care. If the heart is tense, the skin will follow. And she drinks plenty of warm water and tea, not ice water, believing that the skin needs hydration from within, not just the bottle. Step 4. Daily sun protection. Keiko has worn sunscreen since her 20s, not SPF 100 or layers of makeup. Just a daily habit of protecting her skin from UV, wind, and pollution. She also avoids sun exposure during peak hours, wears gloves when gardening, and never tans. Not because she fears aging, but because she respects her body's boundaries. Once or twice a week, Keiko takes a traditional Japanese bath. An oforo, a deep soak in warm water, usually with Epsom salt, yuzu peel, or green tea leaves. She scrubs gently with a silk cloth. Never exfoliate aggressively. It's not just cleansing, it's spiritual. The bath is a place to release stress, reflect on the day, and emerge renewed. When I bathe, she says, I wash away not only the dust, but also my worries. Keiko applies a light layer of rice bran oil to her arms and legs after bathing, believing that if you wouldn't eat it, you shouldn't put it on your skin. She brushes her hair 100 strokes each night with a wooden comb, like her grandmother taught her. It stimulates the scalp, distributes natural oils, and keeps her silver strands smooth and elegant. And her hands, still soft and graceful, are never without gloves when cleaning or gardening. Our hands tell the truth about our age, she says, so I treat mine like old friends, never overwork them. Keiko believes that the skin reflects the state of the soul. She doesn't aim to look young, she aims to feel well. And that feeling shows. She once said to me, if you want to look young at 75, don't focus on creams. Focus on sleep, on peace, on how you speak to yourself when no one is listening. Because to Keiko, true beauty doesn't shine, it glows quietly. It doesn't demand attention, it reflects harmony. Keiko's life is a masterclass in aging gracefully. But the most powerful part of her story isn't her flawless skin or youthful posture, it's her approach to life. So what can you take from Keiko's journey? What are the practical, daily steps you can use to unlock your own vitality, no matter your age? 1. Embrace simplicity and routine. Keiko's daily life is built on simple, nourishing routines. She doesn't complicate her days with unnecessary stress. She wakes early, eats mindfully, and moves with intention. What you can do. Begin with small, intentional habits. Wake up at the same time each day. Eat food that's fresh, simple, and full of nutrients. Eliminate unnecessary clutter from your home and mind. Simplicity is the first step to peace. 2. Find your ikigai, your reason to wake up. Keiko has a deep sense of purpose. Whether it's tending her garden, writing letters, or spending time with family, she has a reason to wake up each morning. What you can do. Discover your own ikigai. It doesn't have to be big. It could be a hobby, a passion, or a project that gives you joy and keeps you engaged. When you have something to look forward to, age becomes just another season in your life. 3. Respect your body. Movement is life. Keiko doesn't exercise for aesthetics. She moves because her body deserves respect. Her simple daily movements, walking, stretching, light activity, keep her flexible and strong. What you can do. Focus on consistent movement, not intense workouts. Stretch every day. Walk for 20 to 30 minutes daily. Practice good posture. Take the stairs. Your body will thank you as it remains flexible, strong, and energized. 4. Cultivate emotional resilience. Let go of bitterness. Keiko has learned the art of letting go. She doesn't let bitterness or regret consume her. Instead, she cultivates peace within herself, accepting life as it is. What you can do. Release old grudges. Practice forgiveness, not for others, but for your own peace of mind. If you've experienced loss or pain, create space for healing. Surround yourself with positivity and let go of negativity, both in people and thoughts. 5. Stay connected. Nourish your relationships. Keiko's relationships are a cornerstone of her longevity. She invests time and energy in those who bring her joy and peace. What you can do. Build your own support system. Spend time with family and friends who uplift and encourage you. Share your thoughts, your heart, and your time. Loneliness accelerates aging. Connection is a powerful force for vitality. Finally, Keiko teaches us to be present in our lives. Every moment is an opportunity for gratitude, and every day is a gift. What you can do. Practice mindfulness. Find moments of stillness every day to appreciate the beauty around you. Whether it's the sound of birds, the taste of a warm meal, or the laughter of loved ones, let it fill you with gratitude. A grateful heart is always youthful. Keiko's life is a testament to the fact that aging is not something to fear. It is something to embrace. Because the beauty of life is not in how young we look, but in how vibrantly we live. The secrets to aging with grace, vitality, and peace are not hidden in jars or pills. They are in the way we choose to live each day. So, start today. Begin with small steps, and remember, youth isn't something you chase. It's something you nurture from within. If you found inspiration in Keiko's story, subscribe for more wisdom on aging gracefully and living your fullest life. Thank you for watching.